Okay, make sure you've got the date up on the top of your ruled up page. And we're looking at exercise 2.1, so in the column, in the margin, 2.1. And we'll start off by looking at number 1. Now, the factors. Factors are all the numbers that will divide into the number. So if you've got, let's do A. If you've got 18, what are numbers that will divide into 18 without a remainder? Well, 1 will go into 18, so 1 times 18 will give you 18. 2 times 9 will give you 18. 3 times 6 will give you 18. So all of these numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 and 18 are all factors of 18. So if you want to list the factors, you should list them from the smallest to the biggest. So there's the factors of 18. Okay, if we look at, say we look at D of exercise 2.1, you should have your book open to page 57, by the way. If you look at D, the factors of 24, so you always start off by 1 times the number, 1 times 24. 2 lots of 12, 3 lots of 8, 4 lots of 6 is 24. Obviously you need to know your tables to work out factors, and we just list them now from the smallest to the biggest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. Okay, so what I want you to do now, I want you to do number 1. You should be able to do all of them. Don't worry about the different colours, the yellow, purple and green. Just do all of number 1. Now let's look at number 2. It's a little bit tricky. Number 2 on page 57, determine which of the numbers 92, 108, 245, 3,100 are divisible by each of the following. Now I've made up this different set of numbers because if I do the ones in the textbook, obviously there'll be nothing for you to do. So I'm going to see if these numbers here in this rectangle are divisible by those things. So if we had a look at A, which ones are divisible by 3? Now if you turn back to page 55 of your textbook, look up the top of page 55, there's a table with green headings. And here's some little rules to work out if a number is divisible by another number. So you look up, what are we doing? Seeing for 2A, we're going to see if they're divisible by 3. The sum of the digits is divisible by 3. That's the rule on the table. So you add up the numbers and you see if it's divisible by 3. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Yes, that is divisible by 3. So let's give it a tick. What about 322? Add up the digits. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. So the sum of those digits there is 7. 7's not divisible by 3. So no, 322 is not divisible by 3. What about this one here? Let's add up those numbers. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 5 is 16. Is 16 divisible by 3? Will any number go, will 3 go into 16? No, it won't. So that number there is not divisible. So let's just write divisible by 3. Okay, now what about this number here? Is that divisible by 3? Okay, what you do is you add up the numbers, and you so 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. Is 7 divisible by 3? No. So 1,024 is not divisible by 3. And finally, this last number, 342, to find out if it's divisible by 3, add up the numbers. So 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 2 is 9. 9's divisible by 3. So therefore, 324, yes, it's divisible by 3. Okay, what I want you to do now is number 2, part A. I want you to see if 92, 108, 245 and 3,100 are divisible by 3. Go for it. Okay, let's look at part B. We want to find out if the numbers are divisible by 4. Now, if you look at the table on the top of page 55, it says a number is divisible by 4. The number formed by the last 2 digits is divisible by 4. So let's have a look. I'll do it with these numbers. The last 2 digits there are 11. Okay, is 11 divisible by 4? No, it's not. So that is not divisible by 4. These last 2 digits here. Are those last 2 digits are divisible by 4? Will 4 go into 22? No. So 322 is not divisible by 4. What about 35? Is 35 divisible by 4? No. So that number there is not divisible by 4. What about 24? Yes, 6 4s are 24. So the number 1,224 is divisible by 4. Give it a tick. And finally, 42. Is 42 divisible by 4? No, 4 will not go in 42. So therefore, 324 is not divisible. So the answer, which ones are divisible by 4, is this one here, 1024. So what I want you to do now, on page 57, I want you to do number 2B. See if those numbers are divisible by 4. Okay, let's do C. This time we're looking at, are these numbers divisible by 5? So look at the table on the top of page 55. The number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. So let's have a look at these numbers here. This one here, the last digit is not 0 or 5, so 111 is not divisible. The last digit here is not 0 or 5, so 322 is not divisible by 5. Actually, we can just have a look. That one there is. So, see the last digit in this one is a 5, so therefore that's divisible by 5. This one here, the last digit's not a 0 or a 5, and that one there, the last digit's not a 0 or 5. Okay, so I want you now, on page 57, to do number 2C. Okay, to see if the last, for part D, we want to see if it's divisible by 8. If you look at the table on the top of page 55, the number formed by the last 3 digits is divisible by 8. So the last 3 digits here, 111. Now that's not divisible by 8. Now, probably best to get your calculator and just type it in. So D, 111 is not divisible by 8. 322, I'm just going to get a calculator and go 322 divided by 8. No, that's not divisible. It's not divisible by 8. 35, no, 735. 735, is that divisible by 8? Get your calculator out, go 735 divided by 8 equals, and it gives you, actually we probably could do this on the computer, whoops, on the computer here. If I get a calculator out, let's have a look. Let's get a calculator. Show you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is, so 735, is it divisible by 8? We just go 735 divided by 8 equals, and notice you don't get a whole number, so that's not evenly divisible by 8. The next number, 1024, so 24, 024, is that divisible by 8? Yes, it is, because 23 8s are 24, so 24 is divisible by 8. 342, is that divisible by 8? Let's have a look. 342 equals, divided by 8 equals, no, that's not evenly divisible by 8 either. Okay, so 342 is not divisible by 8. Okay, I want you to have a go at number 2D on page 57, please. Okay, finally, E, if it's divisible by 9, so if you look at the table on the top of page 55, a number is divisible by 9 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. So let's look at my numbers. Add up these digits. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Is 3 divisible by 9? No. So 111 is not divisible by 9. Let's look at this one. Let's add up those numbers. 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. Is 7 divisible by 9? No, it's not. So 322 is not divisible by 9. Let's look at this number. Let's add up all those. 1 plus 7, obviously you don't have to think about 0 because the 0 doesn't count in adding. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 3 is 11, plus 5 is 16. Is 16 divisible by 9? No. So that number is not divisible by 9. 1 plus 3 is, 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7. Is 7 divisible by 9? No, it's not. So that number is not divisible by 9. What about this one? 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 2 is 9. 9, yes, 9 is divisible by 9, so therefore 342 is divisible by 9. Okay, I want you now to do on page 57, number 2E. See if those numbers 92, 108, 245 and 3100 are divisible by 9. Go for it. Now, number 3. So let's put 3 in the column. Number 3, it says find the lowest common multiple. LCM stands for lowest common multiple of 2 and 5. Now, so what we do, we just write the numbers. Let's write the number 2 and the number 5 underneath. And next to those, let's write the multiples of 2. So 1 lot of 2 is 2. 2 lots of 2 is 4. 3 lots, whoops, what am I doing? 3 lots of 2 is 6. 4 lots of 2 is 8. 5 lots of 2 is 10. Now we could keep going, but we'll stop there. So these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are the multiples of 2. What about the multiples of 5? Okay, there's 5. 1 lot of 5 is 5. 2 lots of 5 is 10. 3 lots of 5 is 15. 4 lots of 5 is 20. Now, have a look at them. Have a look at those ones and have a look at these ones. These are the multiples of 2. These are the multiples of 5. What's the lowest, the smallest number that's common between the multiples of 2 and the multiples of 5? Have a look. There it is there. 10. 10 is the lowest common multiple of 2 and 5. Okay, let me just do one more of number 3. Let's do number F, part F. We've got, on page 58 this is, a 3F. We've got 8 and 12. So, 8 and 12. Let's write the multiples of 8 and 12. 1 8 is 8, 2 8s are 16, 3 8s are 24, 4 8s are 32, let's stop there. 12, 1 12 is 12, 2 12s are 24, hang on, see we've got 2 the same, we could go 3 12s are 36. See this? We've got 2 numbers the same, we can stop there. So the lowest common multiple between 8 and 12 is, lowest common multiple will equal 24. Okay, what I want you to do now is have a go at number 3. You should be able to do all of number 3, actually. Don't just stick... Oh, hang on. Let's have a look, just quickly. Let's have a look at M. because that looks a bit tricky on the next page here. M. We've actually got three numbers to find the lowest common multiple. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so what we're going to do now is write the multiples of each of these. So 1 3 is 3, 2 3s are 6, 3 3s are 9, 4 3s are 12, 5 3s are 15, 6 3s are 18, 6 3s are 18, 7 3s are 21. Let's stop there. 4. The multiples of 4. Okay, so we've got 1 4 is 4, 2 4s are 8, 3 4s are 12, 4 4s are 16, 5 4s are 20. Ooh, okay, that's probably far enough for now. Let's just see how we go. The multiples of 5. 1's 5 is 5, 2 5s are 10, 3 5s are 15. There's nothing common so far. 4 5s are 20, 5 5s are 25, 6 5s are 30, 6 5s are 30. Now we've got to keep adding until we get a common multiple. I can't see any numbers that are common between these numbers here, these numbers here, and these numbers here. So we're going to have to keep going. So 24, 24, 27, 30. Hang on, 30 is common there and there. 20, 24. There's still the multiples here. 24, 28. Man, we're going to have to keep going here. 32, 30. Let's get rid of these arrows. This is going to have huge common multiples. 32, 36, 40. Now it's actually a pretty hard one because you actually keep going on and you actually have to keep going until you get to 60. 60 is actually the lowest common multiple. Now that would take a long time to do that, okay? Some are pretty tricky. Now just a clue. If you get like this and you're desperate and you just keep writing things down and you can't seem to work out the multiple, there's a cheat way. All you do, you get these three numbers, 3, 4, and 5, and you multiply them together. So you just say, right, we want to find the lowest common multiple between 3, 4, and 5. You go 3 times 4 times 5. And 3 4s are 12, 5 12s are 60. So there's the lowest common multiple. So sometimes a shortcut way, if you've done this process here and you just can't seem to find ones that are the same because it looks too hard, just simply multiply the numbers together and that'll give you the lowest common multiple. Okay, I want you to have a go at number 3 now. Go for it. Okay, page 58 and number 4. Number 4. Put number 4 in the margin. Let's do number A. It says, find the highest common factor, HCF, of the numbers 10 and 15. 10 and 15. Now, factors are simply numbers that will divide into the number. So what number will divide into 10? 1 will go into 10, and 10 will go into 10, because 1 times 10 is 10. What other numbers will go into 10? 2 will go into 10, and 5 will go into 10. Okay? Because 2 lots of 5 is 10. I can't think of any other numbers that will actually go evenly into 10. What numbers go into 15? Well, 1 goes into 15, 5 goes into 15. 15. 1 goes into 15, 1 times 15 is 15. What other number goes in 15? 5. 3 lots of 5 go into 15. So 3 is a factor of 15, and 5 will also divide into 15. What other numbers will go into 15? That's about it. Now circle the ones that are common. Okay, notice that's a common factor between 10 and 15, because 5 is a factor of 15 and 5 is a factor of 10. 1's always a common factor with numbers, but we are looking for the highest common factor. If we were asking for the lowest common factor, every number would have 1 as the lowest common factor. But we're looking for the highest one. So the highest number that's common between the factors of 10 and the factors of 15 is 5. So the answer is 5. Let's have a look at K, because that's a little bit different, I think. K. You want to find the highest common factor between 35 and 70. And you list the factors. So you've got 1 and 35. You've got 6 5s are 30, so 6 and 5 are factors of 35. What other numbers go into 35? That's it. 70, you've got 1 and 70. You've got 2 and 35, because 2 lots of 35 is 70. You've got 7 lots of 10, so 7 and 10 are factors of 70. Well, I can't think of any others, actually. Now, have a look through them. Now, 1's always common, but it's usually not the highest common factor. What other numbers? There you go, that one there, 35. So the answer, 35, is the actual highest common factor between 35 and 70. I want you to have a go at number 4. Okay. Go for it. Now, in actual fact, you should be able to go through the rest of the questions that are in the colours for this exercise. Okay, so I want you to go through and keep working through exercise 2.1.